if you have to fall to grow? I've fallen hard enough to know. So what if life's not fair? Does it mean that I'm too cool to care? And I wonder when I stopped believing right will win. Then I remember I am only one, but I dive back in, yeah. It's time to live again, unjaded. What kind of man would I live with my heart closed? What kind of man would I be? What kind of world would I be creating if I can't love with all of me? If I can't love with all of me? I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything on my own. I can right one wrong or sing one song. I don't need to do everything. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to dive back in. Oh, it's time to live again. I am unjaded. Whoa, yeah.
Nick Hill, everybody. And Nick Flores on the saxophone.
Thank you. Still feeling that note. Over a span of about 5 days in the month of March, I learned that I have osteoporosis in my hips that needs attention, that I had skin cancer on my face that needed to be surgically removed and then repaired through plastic surgery, and that I have a torn meniscus in my left knee that also required surgery. It was not my best week. And I certainly realize and deeply appreciate that all of these conditions are treatable, that none of them is life-threatening, and I know that many of you have gone through far worse. Nevertheless, being hit with them all at once felt a little bit overwhelming. And I remembered something someone once told me about aging. He said, when you get old, it's just patch, patch, patch. And so, of course, I wondered if the patching had begun. And at one point, I had the thought, so is this the way it's going to be now? And later I realized what a dangerous thought that is. The idea that the way things are now is the way that they will always be. Because first of all, it isn't true. Everything changes. And secondly, to believe that the way things are now, especially if conditions are unfavorable, is the way they will always be, is very demoralizing, and it's very disempowering. It makes us believe that we have no control, no influence, no ability to change what is coming, and that is nonsense. Well, I have now addressed all of these various medical procedures that I needed to have done, and I'm doing well. But it occurs to me that a lot of what I was feeling during that period of time is similar to what many of us are feeling these days in a different context. We're being hit with a lot all at once, and we're getting worn out from it all. So let's just consider for a moment all that we are dealing with right now in this country. Mass shootings on a weekly, sometimes it almost seems like a daily basis. Thank goodness for those inspiring marches and protests all across the country yesterday, advocating for sensible gun reform. So we have that to deal with. We have the continuing pandemic, the war in Ukraine that weighs so heavily on our hearts. Now we have soaring inflation, threats to women's rights, gay rights, and transgender rights, continuing evidence of systemic racism, climate change to worry about, democracy under siege, and a divided and for all practical purposes deadlocked government. This is a lot. Can we just admit that and say that together? This is a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot for us to deal with. And it takes its toll. I'm reminded of what Shakespeare's Claudius said in Hamlet. He said, "Sorrows come not single spies, but in battalions." Ooh, isn't that the way it feels? Like we're just being bombarded with this steady stream of issues and events that upset and deplete us. Well, there is a word for what we are feeling, what many of us are feeling, and that word is jaded. So the word jaded means wearied or worn out, but it can also mean fed up, sick of something, or up to here with it. Are any of you having any of those feelings? I'm going to guess yes. So the question is, how do we lift ourselves up out of that? Right? How do we restore our hope and our resilience and our perseverance so that we can, in the words of that wonderful little saying, keep calm and carry on? How can we become unjaded? Well, I think the key to this is something we've talked about here before, which is that we must deal with what is before us in a mindful, conscious way, but at the same time, keep a bigger perspective. To stay connected to a larger picture, a bigger vision, a clearer idea of what is unfolding in a sort of a higher truth realm. Well, of course, Jesus was a master at this, wasn't he? From his very high level of consciousness, he saw things very differently. And he knew that if he could help other people to see from that same level of consciousness, it would completely change their lives. So let's remember that his audience was primarily poor Jewish peasants living under very oppressive conditions. For them, life every day, I'm sure, was a very hopeless, a very depressing kind of experience. I'm sure they felt very powerless. But Jesus looked out at their reality and he said, no, all of these conditions that you are experiencing will pass away, but what abides is God. And God is with you, and God is for you, and God is the power within you. The kingdom of God is at hand, he said, because he knew if with a consciousness shift, this higher order could be brought into manifestation. It was as if he was saying, come with me. I will help you see things differently in a way that will lift your hearts, will free your spirits, will help you discover the power within you to create your own reality. You see, he knew that a higher order was possible, that a higher order was ready to manifest if they would grab a hold of it. And he wanted them to know that these difficult times, these times of conflict and turmoil serve a purpose. They hasten the demise of the old and the birth of the new. You see, we need that same perspective today, don't we? We are being exposed to some horrific and heartbreaking situations and conditions, things that tear at our soul. We must be able to continue to feel our feelings bravely so that we are motivated to take action, but at the same time, know that there is a bigger picture here. That indeed, through all of this conflict, all of these difficulties, all of this heartbreak, a higher consciousness is trying to break through. These are the machinations of an old paradigm dying, thrashing around, trying to hold on, but we know that it cannot. And the new is being seeded, and it is coming forth in songs like that today about being unjaded. We are only one, but we are not alone. To know that we have that power with us, that we are a part of the unfolding of the new. And our role is to stay conscious, to stay steady, and to keep going. To keep going, no matter what, undaunted and unjaded. Well, there's a word for another way of talking about this time that we're living in. A blogger named David Schmidgall, he calls the times in which we're living liminal space. And that word liminal comes from the Latin word limen, L-I-M-E-N, which means threshold. Liminal space is like being on the threshold of something new, but not quite there yet. It's like being suspended between what was and what is next. That's how it feels right now, isn't it? Like we're on the threshold of something, we're just can't quite kick over into that. Many of us experience the same kind of liminal state when we go through a major change in our lives, whatever that might be: loss of a job, loss of a relationship, change in careers, illness, the birth of a child, the loss of a loved one, moving to a new place. We feel that unsettled state of being in between. And the additional factor right now is that the pandemic has thrown nearly everyone into that in-between world at the same time. This liminal space is where creativity and spirituality flourish, but that doesn't mean we like it there. And in fact, we avoid it at all costs. But Schmidgall writes, whatever the threshold may be, you've entered that more fragile, beautiful, healing, energizing, terrifyingly glorious light that is calling forth something new to emerge. Be patient. The new discovery can take time, sometimes a very long time. To persevere, we need courage, we need resilience, we need hope. Writer Rebecca Solnit says one place to find hope is in the uncertainty itself. She wrote an essay called "Hope is an Embrace of the Unknown." She says that because we don't know what will happen, there is a sort of spaciousness of uncertainty. And in that spaciousness, there is room to act. There is room to influence and create. She writes, when you recognize uncertainty, you recognize that you may be able to influence the outcomes. You alone, or you in concert with a few dozen or several million others. You know, often we aren't sure what is ours to do. These problems feel so huge, and we wonder if there's anything we alone can do to make a difference. But every kind, caring, loving thing we do has impact. Every one. So there was once a minister at a coastal church in Scotland, and he was preparing one night to go out up to the church to lead the evening service. And it happened to be the stormiest night of winter. The wind was gale force, the rain was lashing against the windows. And as he was preparing to go out to the church for the service, a little voice in him said, "Why go out tonight? There won't be a soul there." But a deeper voice within him said, no, you need to be there. So he put on his raincoat, he took his lantern, And out he went into the blackness, made his way out and up to the church, which sat on a high hill overlooking the sea. And when he got there, he opened the door, put his lantern on the windowsill, and sat and waited for the congregation. A congregation that, understandably, never came. He sat there for a while, and finally he realized that he was going to be alone. And so then he sang a hymn, and he said a prayer. And then after that, feeling that his work was complete, he gathered up his belongings, picked up his lantern, locked up the church, went down the hill and home. Was it all just a waste of time, he wondered? Well, the next morning, he learned that it was not. Because on the night before, during the worst time of the storm, there was a fishing vessel out at sea trying to make its way into the harbor. And the skipper on the boat was out there floundering around in the blackness. And then he saw a light in a building high on the hill. It was the lantern in the window of the church. Had it not been for that lantern, he likely would have crashed on the rocks or certainly not made it into the harbor. But because of the steady stream of that one small light shining from the church, he was able to navigate his way and safely come into port. All because the minister followed through and let a light shine that evening. It's a great lesson for him, and it's a great lesson for us, that any time we shine a light into the darkness, anytime we shine a light into the darkness, it makes a difference. It touches someone. It helps someone. And when we all shine our lights together, we are a force to be reckoned with. Together, we can do big things to shift the course of human events. And we certainly had evidence of that this past week when so many of you opened your hearts and donated to Laura and Travis and Grace and Davis after they lost their home last Monday. And kudos to Alicia Flores, sitting over here within hours of that fire that destroyed their home, had a fundraiser up so that we could all band together to help them to rebuild your lives and rebuild your home. You are so loved, and it feels so good to give to you. And thank you all for that love and support. You know, in these difficult times, we can't afford to be jaded. We can't, because the world needs us. The word jaded implies tired, and we are tired. We're tired, aren't we? It's okay to be tired. It's okay to take a breather from the intensity of all of it, to relieve a little mental anguish by moderating your news intake, spending time in nature, connecting with people you love who fill you up, doing hobbies and things that mean something to you, hanging out at Unity Renaissance, looking for sources of joy and laughter. All of these are ways that we take care of ourselves, and take care of ourselves we must, so that we can keep going. We must keep going. And by that I mean be engaged, care, shine our lights, do what we can do. We must and we will, because we are stronger. We are stronger than we know. We are more resilient than we give ourselves credit for. And we are more deeply committed to our ideals and our values than we have even yet to realize. You know, rather than giving up, we must rise up. And when I say rise up, I mean let Spirit fill us, let Spirit rise within us, stay connected to that higher power so that we can be the shining beings that we are. I'd like you to take a moment to just think about whatever challenge you may be facing in your life right now, whatever's uppermost on your mind. And I would like you to repeat after me. Think of the challenge. And now say this: this will not defeat me. Together. This will not defeat me. I am unjaded. Together. I am unjaded. Say those together with me one more time. This will not defeat me. I am unjaded. And now hold that same knowing for our country, that what is going on right now will not defeat us. That there is something within us, something stronger even than we realize, something that will come to the forefront. You know, I think about how often our great nation has been tested, how often I'm sure we've been on the brink of what seemed like impending disaster or the end of the republic. Yet, as Christopher Naughton likes to say, there is something in our DNA. There's something in the American soul that knows who we are, that is committed to democracy, justice, and equality, though we have displayed that imperfectly. So although there has been injustice that needs to be corrected, horrible things have happened, but we still hold to those principles. They are a part of us, and they are continuing to grow in power. We are of that, we are part of that, and it is part of us, and we will carry on. We will carry on because we are part of an evolutionary leap in consciousness. No one said it was going to be easy, but we're up to that task. The most revolutionary thing we can do right now is to keep going. And with that in mind, I'd like to close with what I find to be an incredibly inspiring poem by Maya Angelou. It's one that the Unity Sisterhood has been circulating. It's called Continue. And it's a bit of a long poem, so I invite you to just relax, and we'll go straight from the poem into our meditation. Continue by Maya Angelou. My wish for you is that you continue. Continue to be who and how you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness. Continue to allow humor to lighten the burden of your tender heart. Continue in a society dark with cruelty to let the people hear the grandeur of God in the peals of your laughter. Continue to let your eloquence elevate the people to heights they had only imagined. Continue to remind the people that each is as good as the other and that no one is beneath nor above you. Continue to remember your own young years and look with favor upon the lost and the least and the lonely. Continue to put the mantle of your protection around the bodies of the young and defenseless. Continue to take the hand of the despised and diseased and walk proudly with them in the high street. Some might see you and be encouraged to do likewise. Continue to plant a public kiss of concern on the cheek of the sick and the aged and infirm, and count that as a natural action to be expected. Continue to let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer, and let faith be the bridge you build to overcome evil and welcome good. Continue to ignore no vision which comes to enlarge your range and increase your spirit. Continue to dare to love deeply and risk everything for the good thing. Continue to float happily in the sea of infinite substance, which set aside riches for you before you had a name. Continue, and by doing so, you and your work will be able to continue eternally. Let's take a moment now to turn within to that presence of God at the very core of our being. Just take a nice big deep breath in. Release. Release into this presence, this oneness, this golden thread that runs through all of us. Taking a moment to give yourself a little love, a little break, a bit of comfort and nurturing for who you are, for your innate goodness, for your trying, for your work, for your love, for your dreams. Know that you are being called to continue. The universe is with you and for you and pulling for you to carry on. Take a moment now to breathe into that sense of connection with the divine, to feel peace wash over you for a few moments in the silence. In this liminal, in-between space in which we find ourselves, we continue consciously to praise the good, to look for the good, to behold the good, to give our good, to hold to our faith that better days are coming, that Spirit is in charge here, and we are ready to do our part. And for this knowing, for our unity of purpose, for the love that unites us, we are grateful. Thank you, God. Thank you. And so it is. Amen.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Mwah. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Well, this is the time in our service for the sharing of our love offering and support of this beautiful spiritual community. I invite you to give from that place of gratitude and generosity in you, knowing that every single gift you give makes a difference here, and we are so grateful for it. There are many ways to make a contribution. If you're here in the room and you want to give via cash or check, there's a love offering basket in the back, and you're invited to give that way. You may also give online or via the Tithely app. The easiest way to give these days is by texting the word give, followed by the amount you wish to donate to
540-418-1228. Text now.
And while you're preparing your gift, we have a special treat today. Our beloved Nick Hill is going to share some thoughts on the difference Unity Renaissance has made in his life.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance family. Okay. Growing up, I kind of felt like an enigma. Being from Baltimore, Maryland, I saw a lot of beauty and a lot of pain. I lived the typical rose from concrete lifestyle with some minor changes. I was determined to do everything the right way all the time. I wanted to be perfect because if I was perfect, no one would ridicule me. My household wasn't very religious, but I never not felt connected to Source. My household joined our first church as a family when I was 14. I loved it. I still do. All these years later, my mom and sister still consider that church home. It opened my eyes to the gospel music world and how to make things like a church service run. But I also had a lot of questions. Because my household wasn't so religious, that gave other family members a lot of room to define Christianity for me. We do this, they do that, we don't do this, etc. The various denominations always felt weird because I thought we were all doing the same thing. I remember one day in my African Methodist Episcopal Church having a thought that I felt scared and guilty about. What if they are all one? The Buddha, Jesus, God, who they pray to and who we pray to. I quickly put that thought away because at the time it felt so wrong, but I continued to grow. By 16, I left my home church to begin my campaign of singers deserve to be paid for their services too, and started singing at other churches in Baltimore City. Okay, that's a thing, just saying. All the churches I sing at, though, all fell somewhere under that large Episcopal umbrella. Fast forward to sometime over 5 years ago, I met a man at a birthday party. He played the piano for my friend, and I, as we were the entertainment. That friend was dear Johnetta, and that man was Richard. It didn't take long for them to twist my arm about trying to sing here. I was in between church gigs, and I was intrigued by the jazzy mad scientist. That was Richard's nickname in my head at the time. I was cautioned by Johnetta that this is probably not like any church I've been to, and I had to have an open mind. Boy, was she right. Unity Renaissance had a lightness and a freshness the first day I walked through those doors for a Christmas 2017 service, and I still feel it today. This magical spiritual center has helped me grow beyond my wildest dreams. Unity Renaissance is a place where I come to learn about spirituality in a real hands-on way. I get my questions answered, and I no longer feel guilt or shame about them. I'm the first in my family to step into the church world, and I have experienced a lot of different things under a lot of different denominations. But I'm so thankful because here at Unity, I feel I am the best Christian I've ever been. I feel like I'm finally walking in a path that is most aligned with the footsteps of Jesus. I have learned a lot about the world and how we can grow together and overcome the dark times through love, listening, and understanding. I know this was supposed to be why I chose Unity or the differences made in my life, but if I'm being honest, Unity chose me a very long time ago. I just had no idea what or where it was. And now that I have made it home to Unity Renaissance, a place where all are welcome to grow in love, I'm all the better for it, and I'm grateful. I want to thank each and every one of you for what you bring to this place. It's special, it's real, and it's the most beautiful experience I've ever had the honor to call church. So thank you.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Woo. We're so lucky to have you here, Nick. Well done to the jazzy mad scientist. So I invite you to hold your gift in your hand now, and let's bless it with our offertory blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Pressed down,
seems too hard to take. Every turn feels like a big mistake. Makes you want to close your eyes and hide. Trust yourself, even if you're scared. Don't give up, don't give in to fear. All the strength you seek, you'll find inside. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time, no one else can live your life. Open up to what you've known all the time. You are more than you are. You are more than you are. Speak your mind, make a statement. Don't hide yourself out in the open. Step into the spotlight and shine. Be the change, fall like a domino. Chain reaction that sets the world aglow. You'll be amazed at how it falls in line. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time, no one else can live your life. So open up to what you've known all the time. Round and round we go, we don't fall down. More than flesh and bone, we're heart and soul, light and miracle. More than you are, you are. More than you are, you are. More than you are. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind. Find you to who you really are. Don't waste your time, no one else can live your life. So open up to what you've known all the time. To what you've known all the time. You are more than you are. You are more than you are. You are more than you are.
Boy Black, you are. Open up, boy, open up. Woo.
So I think as most of you or all of you know, our beloved Lisa Carter, who is our Director of Youth and Family Ministry, is with us till the end of June, and then she is going to real retirement to enjoy her life. And so today we have the great distinction of being able to honor her, love her, praise her. Come on up here, Lisa. Lisa, for you. So Lisa has been in this role for 7 years. You've been at the church a lot longer than that. But I remember quite well where we were at when we first teamed up. And we were completely remaking youth education here. We had such a big dream, such a big vision of how we could really grow it, and we could get more diversity here and more kids here of all ages. And you've made that dream come true in so many ways. You and B together have been a formidable team. So I really love and appreciate Lisa, as I know we all do, for the way youth and family ministry has grown. But I also appreciate you as my beloved friend, and that isn't changing. But Lisa's one of those people, and we have many here at Unity Renaissance. You can call for anything at any time, and she's right there to take care of that for you, and she does it with smile and just such commitment and passion. I know that you love this place so dearly. It shows in every single thing you do. It shows in how you teach our children and the way they beam when they come out here. We are so going to miss you, although I know you're still going to be at the church. You're still going to be active here, but you're leaving some... But you're leaving some very big shoes to fill, and I just can't say enough how grateful we are, Lisa. You're just a wonder. So let's stand and give her our Christ blessing. To Lisa Carter, for all your love, service, dedication, for the ways in which you have changed lives here at Unity Renaissance. Together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Beautiful, beautiful job. Oh. All right, come on over here, Boyd. You're covering a lot of ground today, aren't you? Back and forth, not there, here. All right, well, this is the time of our service, and we'd like to welcome those who are new to Unity Renaissance. If you're here today for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high, holding up the appropriate number of fingers, 1 for your first visit, 2 for your second visit, 3 for your third. Hold them up nice and high until our ushers get to you. They are greeters. They are bringing you a little bag with some gifts in it. Great, we got some first-timers here today. Thank you. Here they come. We got some in the back there. All right. So in that bag that you've just received, there's a little card in there. If you fill that card out, take it into the bookstore. We have yet another gift for you in there. You get to have your choice, a little memento, a little appreciation from us, and we look forward to seeing you here again and again. Thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday with us.
All right, as part of our Fun Fridays, we have this coming Friday, a special night. It's trivia and bingo, and it starts at 7 o'clock here, and we're going to have a special guest appearance, and I'm not going to give it away, but give it any clues, because I don't know who it is. But be here this Friday at 7.
Bingo trivia. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? It's going to be great. We have a new class starting up on Wednesday nights. It'll be for 6 Wednesday nights starting on June 22nd. This will be a Zoom-only class. The wonderful Reverend Richard Mekdeci and Ann DeMichael will be team teaching this, so you don't want to miss that. It's called Divine Audacity, and it really is about the 12... Huh? What did I say? Okay, I know. So it's about it's about the 12. It's about the 12 powers. You know, we have our 12 spiritual powers. But this is a beautiful contemporary take on them. We use this modern day language, helps you kind of examine your own beliefs, so that you can apply these principles every day in your life in very practical and important ways. So we're looking forward to that. The cost for that is $20 per class, $100 for the complete course. We do have scholarships available for if you would like financial assistance for that. You can register on our website, on our Uni Renaissance app, or on the what we call the sign-up wall out here outside of Meyer Hall. Looking forward to that class.
All right. For all of you who want to become a member of Unity Renaissance, we have a great class called The Path to Discovery. It will be... Oh, it's just a sign up. We don't have dates yet, right? So sign up on the same wall out there or on the Unity Renaissance website. And it's a great class. It takes about 2 hours. It teaches you all about the Unity principles, the history of Unity. You really get a deep dive. And welcome to the family.
And you can take the class even if you're not sure if you want to become a member. Just find out more about Unity and then make your decision after that. So once they get the sign-ups, they'll decide when to schedule it for the convenience of those participating. We have a really big Sunday here today after the service. Come and enjoy cake for Lisa. It's already cut out there and waiting for you, so enjoy that as part of the reception. And then come back at 12:30. We have a community forum today with our board of trustees. We'll have a financial update. Ed Rosequist is going to share his draft of a land plan for Unity Renaissance. You might want to see that and have an opportunity to comment on that. We'll also have some comments from the board president and myself, Q&A, etc. This is your chance to kind of get a read on where we're at for the year to date and ask any questions that you have. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we are hosting a celebration of life service for our beloved Carl Drews, the husband of Bernie Drews. Very sad over her loss, but we will celebrate his spirit together. That's at 3 this afternoon. It will also be live streamed on our Unity Renaissance Facebook page if you would like to watch it there.
And next Sunday we have celebrate. Oh,
It's not next. No,
no.
It's Saturday, June 25th.
That was close.
I sprung this on Boyd at the last minute. Sorry.
Saturday, June 25th, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Town Point Park. We're helping to celebrate Pride Fest. To volunteer, you can contact. Is Debbie here?
No,
Debbie?
they're
Okay.
at Unity Village right now.
Oh, well. You can still contact her at debbieemmy@gmail.com.
We've had a booth at Pride Fest for several years now. It is a beautiful event. Even if you don't volunteer, just come by the booth, sort of shine your light again, and meet some folks, let them know what we have to offer here. And thanks to Deb for organizing that. So we have some more special Sundays coming up. Next Sunday is Father's Day and Juneteenth. We will be honoring both. Tom Baker will be our speaker on my father's authority, which sounds great. And then 2 weeks from today, that Pride Fest weekend, we're going to have a guest speaker. We're going to have Reverend Harry Stock come back and speak to us about a very timely topic, homophobia and the Bible, a dangerous combination. So you don't want to miss that one. And then Sundays in July, I'm going to do a 4-part series on Confucius, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad. So the wisdom that they each have to offer and how all those kind of intersect. And also I want to let you know this week is the Unity People's Convention at Unity World Headquarters. It starts tomorrow, and tomorrow will be the graduation ceremony for all of the new ministerial candidates, one of whom is our beloved Ann DeMichael, who is out there right now, maybe watching today, I don't know. But you will be able to watch her graduation ceremony at 5 o'clock tomorrow. You go to the Unity Worldwide Ministries page, Facebook page, and then we're going to really celebrate Anne in fine style on June the 26th. We're calling it Ann DeMichael Day. So we can just love her up and let her know how proud we are of her after 3 years, a very intense study to become a minister, internships, etc. We know she's always been a minister, but now it's formally being acknowledged. So congratulations, Anne, if you're watching today. We are with you in spirit. Well, that's it for our announcements. Let's stand together now and welcome our children.
We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God.
May be seated. Hello, kids. Great to see you all. Look at this beautiful lineup here. Lovely. So who would like to share what you learned today? Well, you are ready.
Okay,
I think it's on, dear. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. It is. I just wasn't even on it. So we read a story called Beads on One String, and like the string meant like how we were like the bead, like the string is like how we are connected.
Nice.
And the beads are how we are different because they were different shapes and colors
Oh, I love that.
of the beads, so that tell that we're different. And then
Different but all connected, just like beads on a string.
I'm going to read all the principles. God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. And through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And last one, I do and give my best by living the truth. I know I make a difference.
Nice. The 5 principles. That was lovely. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I can be part of a group with expressing my unique self.
I can be, you're reading it, part of a group while expressing my unique self. I love that. Anybody else? Oh, we got some down here. I'm going to come to you next. What's your name? Sawyer, welcome.
Caring.
Caring. That's really it, isn't it? Thank you.
We learned about compassion today.
We learned about compassion. I love it. Did you have some too? Is your hand up?
We learned about caring.
We learned about caring. Caring and compassion. Very important. Anything else up here? All right. Good stuff, you guys. So let's stand together now and join in our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with your mind and blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can your life. So open up to what you've known all the time. Rise above the clouds in your mind, who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. So open up.